let's do it. We're gonna try to finish, or not, yeah, we're trying to finish the Fender. We're gonna try to do what we can do to get it done. The Fender, we made a piece for it. We did a couple videos on it, how we made that piece. It was a struggle, but we got it done. Yeah, we overcame. There it is right now. We have not ground it down. We have done nothing to it. What I want to do right now, I haven't done anything to it. Jolene has done. Generally what I will do, if I have something welded like that, and I want to see before I put filler on it or do anything to it, I will X-ray it. And what I mean by X-ray it, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to flick it up in the light and look on the back side and see if I can see any pinholes, to see if I can see any light. If I see any light coming through, that just tells me that, you know, there's a pinhole. And I do not want that. I do not want that. So I'll put it up to the light and X-ray it. I'm not sure if I'm getting enough light there. Let's go to the other place. Get light over there in the corner, have you, baby? Mm-hmm. All right, just a minute. I'll light up a light, and then we'll see. And it's just a very quick thing. You take your trouble light, anything like that will do it. Doesn't look like to be any pinholes. What I would see is just the light coming through. Just checking. Making sure, man. Making sure. See here?
Right here.
Huh? Is it right there? Is there a pinhole? No? It's not a pinhole, that's a weld. I think Jolene has passed her welding course. I'm trying, baby. I'm trying to find some hole so we can fix it. That's what I'm trying to do, but... A1. Excellent. What would happen is, when you would shine that, when you put that light on there, you would see it come through. You put it in the dark, and you would see it. For me, she has no pinhole. That's a good job. Awesome. What I'm going to do right now is, I'm not going to take it outside and sandblast it. We have 3 feet of snow on the whole property. I'm not doing that. But I really want to get it somewhat straightened out and finished up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and grind the weld off it real quick. I'm going to strip it, put a little fiberglass on it, put a little fill on it, and I'll show you exactly how I do it right now. So what I'm going to do is, the patch has been welded in, she butt welded it on the top. I did not cut this piece off here on this edge of the inside the fender because that kept this in shape, kept that shape, and it kept that shape because of that 90. If I'd have cut that off, all that shape would have been free to the wind, but with that shape on the back side of it, it was good. So as we get going here, we can either take and wire reel that, clean that up and seam seal it, or we'll just take zip cut, we know where it's welded, and then cut that off, and then seam seal that. But as I get going here, I'm going to grind this off. I'm going to use a hard disc, and I am going to just grind the welds. I'm just going to grind the welds, and that is it and only. I want a pair. Yeah, go better. Security, this is called. Security. I do not want to grind this metal or that metal. I just want to grind the weld. That's it. That's all I want to grind right now. There's not going to be a whole lot of talking in this one. It's just going to be a lot of just watching and observing what I'm doing. I'm using the grinder quite rough. Does not matter to me. I'm just grinding metal. I'm just going for it. That's all. I'm just trying to get it off. as you can see, if you want to come over and take a look, baby. As you can see, what I'm trying to do, or what I have done, I just took the head off the weld. I try not to ground this metal now, and I mean that so much because it does matter when you start taking metal away from this and metal away from that, gouging things. It just takes away from the job that you were doing, you know. And what I'm thinking is, I'm going to try to make it look as best I can without destroying anything. Now I'm going to take a flapper wheel. Just going to smooth it down a little bit, take off the edges. I'm going to hit this metal, hit a little bit of this, but we're going to just clean it up a little bit more, make it a little bit smoother. Not going to take all the weld out. I'm going to take that much off, and I'll tell you why. If I hit this piece with a hammer, I'm not going to break it, still weld it. I can take it down closer, make it look nicer, but I'd only be fooling myself. And the reason being is that that integrity would not be left there if you start grinding all that weld off. The integrity of the patch will be gone, and I do not want to do that. I do not want to do that. So what I've done so far is I hard wheeled it, flapper wheeled it, and cleaned it with a drill. That's all I've done so far. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off some paint. This looks like an original paint. Wow. Don't usually get to work on parts like this in this good a shape, but here we are. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the air on. I've got a 24 grit. It's a 40 grit, sorry. A 40 grit on the 8-inch orbital. 40 grit on the 8-inch orbital. DA. That doesn't stand for whatever. Yeah, so I'm going to scratch this off now and get some more paint off it to get ready for some fiberglass Autobahn filler. That's what I will put over the welds first. The reason I chose this is because I'm scratching and stripping at the same time. I need to scratch the metal up for the filler to stick the best it can. Something like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to strip back as far as I think I need to fill it out. And as you think of this, like the ocean, I'm going to flood it out and make it one, but also, yeah, I have to run it back far enough to feather it off. Think about your drywall and your ceiling. When you do not have enough on, you can see where the drywall is put together. When it's flooded out in the right distance and smooth, you do not see anything. I like to use these around the lines. Them flapper wheels are unforgiving on edges, so be careful. Getting close to some filler on it. I can tell that's high right there just by rubbing this over top. The rest of it feels good. Grit. Went and looked at a truck this morning. Pretty cool. We can take the difference. I took it outside, not today, but you'll have to play it out in your brain. How long would it take to set up the sandblaster, put the sand in the sandblaster, get the machine going, spray it, do it, bring it back in, compared to me stripping it with this and then carrying on. You know, you'd have to play that out in your brain to figure out which way you would want to do it. This is what I'm doing today, this way, but you can take that time and figure that out for yourself. Also, to blast something like this, that is in this nice of shape, I'm not sure if you're really gaining anything, to be honest with you. I think I want to take the drill over it, just because I just don't like some of the look and the red in it. It might be lacquer primer. Lacquer primer underneath any filler does not work. Just to make sure, going over, make it nice and shiny. Scratch her up one more time and I'll put some filler on it. I'm going to blow it off. Nothing to make a big racket. What I've got going on here, I think I've got a high spot, so I'm going to give it a little touch with a body hammer to make myself happy before I put anything on it, because I like to have it down before I fill it. Right here it seems to be. Doesn't take very much sometimes. It's nice when that hammer will just bounce off the top of that instead of, you know, really doing any damage. You know something? I think this might have something to do with it, how that's poked out like that. Just going to beat that on the side. It'd be better for me to straighten that out. That lip will be sandblasted for sure. Or a sandblaster, maybe even stripped with that wheel would do it, clean it up just like chrome. We'll worry about that later. It actually doesn't feel high. It's just where that cutout was and the lip going around. It feels pretty good. This is what I'm going to do now. Over there. Right by the... Don't need them for a minute. This is what I'm going to use right at the present moment. I get it from the Napa Know-How store. Napa Know-How store. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fiberglass this, and I just want to put fiberglass over the welds. To be honest, you know, to be real about it, just want to put fiberglass over the welds. I don't want to do anything else because I don't want to scrub that off. I do not want to scrub the fiberglass off. I do not want to take that time, and I do not want to. Yeah, I just don't want to take the time. I want to put it on, leave it on, and go right over top. Just feeling it over, see if I see any high spots. So I'm going to put a little glass on it. It really needs a glass on it. It needs to me, it's welded here, it's welded here, it's welded there. I'm going to put a little bit of glass on it all. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it thin so it flows on. Well, I got that there. Let's take a little. Keep me reaching. Little table I got here, what? Little table I got here. Put some resin in it. That'll just make it more creamier. You can do this, I do it all the time just because I can, I guess. And I just want to put a coat on that. And what I want this glass to do, I want this glass to go on so smooth that there's no rough edges on it, eh? If I put it on all meaty the way it comes, like it's quite meaty the way it comes, if I can make it flat out on its own and make it go smooth, then I really won't have to do a lot of work to it. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. And if I have to do it twice, so be it. So be it. A little bit since I've been doing any filling. It's been a little bit. Save that for the next, yeah. Whatever. Didn't mind putting a little more hardener in it, and the reason because I was putting more resin in it. So a little more hardener won't hurt it one bit. Probably make it look right. So what I've done is I've thinned that right out. If you look in the can, when you look at this stuff, the can is right thick, and I don't want it thick. The main thing is I get the welds. Everything else is a plus. This stuff, put it on and then rub it out. Put it on and then rub it out. Just like a drywaller. Put it on and then rub it out. What I mean by rub it out is to throw your squeegee down over top of it. mark there to contend with. Just trying to do all the weld marks. And have it lay out nice. I think we can play this one out there. That's enough. Try and smooth it out. Trying to make it as nice as possible. Sometimes it's hard to do with this stuff. So we're going to leave that like that. It's basically got all the welds. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. That's basically got all the welds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and wipe this off. You can see how thick it is when you look in the can. It's not like that. It's not like that. I'll just take a minute and wipe this off. How long are we into it, baby?
34.
34. I'm going to spend a few more minutes. I'm going to let that dry. And I'll take the time that I have when that's drying. I'm just going to let it dry a little bit. I'm going to take some time and I'm going to take the sander and sand off some more green paint. Because let's face it, it's all got to come off. So I may as well be doing something while I'm standing here, eh? That's what I'm going to do. But that's nowhere near dry yet. So if you had an old car, you want to strip it down, 24 grit and a feather edger. I would not use a flapper wheel, no, because you grind metal, like it gouges it. The drill and the stripper wheels, yes, and some sandpaper. That's the best way I would say to strip your car. Sometimes it's nice to take it down with the 40 grit and then get onto it with an 80 grit. And then it comes down really nice. Just going to get some sandpaper changed here. This is the trick. This is not a trick. Not a trick at all. But this is what I do to make sure I can get my sandpaper off. When I pull it off the DA. Just got to put this paper on, see how it rolls. Put it on the floor because that's where it'll end up. Stop it. We use that for hand sandpaper now if we need something. That's what I usually do is fold them up for that. Thank the guys for the plastic squeegees. Thank you very much. Appreciate them. I'm working with them already. Just getting more sandpaper. Let's just rock and roll here. It's not near as dry yet. Yeah, it's not dry yet. I'll just scuff that lightly when it comes time to put filler on top of it. Just stripping it so we know what we got. look and see where the dents are. As I sand that, and that, you can see that, see metal, that's a dent, dent. I looked at it, never seen a dent until you sand it off. What we have here is you have 3 dents. One there, one there, one there. And I don't know how many more I'm gonna get, but I would never fill this, never do that. Fill this, all of it together, sand it together. We get some, get some, get some, get some. Get me some! Give me some of that Jolene! And she does not need another man. There's another little dent, didn't know I had that dent. Sometimes in the end, the whole thing gets filled out no matter how good you think it is. How I'm sanding that off with the paint is exactly how I would sand the mud if I had it there. Comment and like if you like. Help us, help us out. Help us get more followers or whatever it is. Maybe even people that want to learn a little bit without being, ridiculed. This is kind of the process that everybody does. Sometimes we're all hard on each other, but that's not necessary. Everybody does it the same way. And if you have a little more filler than the next guy, that's like comparing models. You know what I mean? Like, they're both models. Oh, you got more makeup on. What's the difference? I don't mind doing this job, stripping. It's kind of nice just to work, without having any brain thought. You can think all you want to, but you don't. It's really kind of just work. You're just working without. It's like mowing the lawn. Probably get a finer grip to finish it off. Just seems like it's at that point where the finer grip would do a better job finishing it off. This is coarse, so you can see how it's scratching it. I just want to take it and get it a little finer and come off a lot nicer. And I think it will. will make sure, if there's any rust that you see, we will make sure that it looks like this before we put primer on it. Guaranteed. And at this shop, it's 40-80 prime. 40-80 prime. 40-80 prime. And we do not use urethane or plastic spot putty. We do not use the spot putty. We do not use the glaze putty. It's fiberglass, body filler, and body filler. And then 40-80 prime. We skip that step. I will not leave that fender like that. I will go over with another grit to make it shine or make it take all of it off. Get close. Take a little bit of paint off here and we'll get it. And what I mean by get it is hit it with a sandpaper. You gotta be careful with fiberglass. If you get it too early, it will rip off on you. Don't want that. Don't want that. I'm going to show you something. Watch this. Watch how good these wheels are. These wheels are really good. If you think that, you know, you got rust and you need sandblasting, well, that's not always the truth. You watch this. You see that rust there? It's quite rusty. Rusty. You watch this. Can't ask any better than that. You know, if you want to clean something up, It doesn't always have to go to sandblasting and costing a bunch of money. Put in a little bit of labor. That thing works. That thing works good. Pull that off. You want to watch your eyes here. Let's flood the corner out and see what we can get. I'm going to mix up a bunch of mud. I don't really want to do it a whole bunch of times. I'd rather just do it once. I'm going to get a bigger squeegee. Well, how many minutes, baby?
Like 49.
Woo! 20 minutes time. That's basically what we try to do. We try to get an hour in for you at least, and do as much as we can in an hour to show you exactly what we do. I do not care. I do not care if I put on too much. Do not care. And I'll tell you why. Because if I don't put on enough, I'll have to come back and do it again. Just as simple as that. You know, if I don't get enough, if I don't put on enough, I will not. I'll have to come back and do it again. If I can do it in one time, awesome. If I can do it in 2 times, excellent. If I can do it in 3 times, you're doing good. If you do it 4 times, okay. If you do it 5, shit. If you do it 6, damn, shit. That's all. You know what I'm saying? The more you do it, the more time it takes, and that's more or less how I take that. I don't know if that explained it well or not, did it? Just trying to get it all mixed up here. And the reason being I made a lot because I'm trying to get it done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flap it on and then move it around. I might have too much, might not have enough. Who knows? Who knows? Looks like a lot, doesn't it? It is a lot. But I'm going to use it and sand it all. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Just putting it on there for now, and I'll spread it out after. I'm just trying to stick it on where I'm sticking it. Just sticking it on. I'll have to get on that show, The Cake Boss. The Cake Boss. Now I'm just going to try to play with it and try to get it maybe looking like something. Remember, that's quite a big piece that we made, so it takes quite a bit of filler to fill it all. You know, I have to fill it all. I just can't fill half of it. I have to fill it all. And what I'm trying to do is get all the filler on at once, so I don't have to come in here and sand this off a dozen times. I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. I want to come in and sand it a couple of times. I know I'm in a mess, and generally that's what happens when you play with mud. That's what happens. That's what I'm doing, just playing with mud. Okay, put it on the bottom first, and then bring it up. Bring some down. Just trying to tow some mud down to the bottom. I'm getting full here. What I'm hoping is that I've got enough mud on this fender that when I take off this flood, I'm not going to have any metal showing. I don't want that. I don't want any metal showing, if I can help it. And that way there, I know we're all at one playing field. I know I don't want to hit that, but I want to hit right here. That's the right way to go about it or not. I want fill on that. Right there, I want fill on that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I need. Fill on it. That wasn't the right way to go on that, but whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that for now. And I got some still on my. Yeah. There will be, for sure, there will be pinholes and all that sort of stuff. But basically you can see that I have the shape that I'm going for. I'll wait till I clean that off though before I do that. All that will be scuffed off again because of where I'm going to feather it out to. I'll let that dry for a little bit. And then I'll sand it off. Right in front of your very eyes. How much time, baby?
55.
55 minutes?
It's all good.
It's all good? Okay. Cool. We'll just set it up like this. And then you can I spy it. Now what has to happen, I put that much filler on there at once because I think I need that much. If I was a if I got a patch up here somewhere, I at least got to feather it up here a little bit, you know, ways, and I still got to cover the piece. No matter which way you do it, you're gonna fill the whole thing. So if I can do it in one shot, why would I not? And then instead of waiting and coming back and doing it again, I'll just give it a one shot like that. Clean my hands up, clean my spatula up, get ready to maybe hit it again. I see pinholes popping in it because there's a lot of filler there where the heat. Pinholes. I would say they're pinholes. But more or less just kind of showing us where we're at. Just more or less a guide coat of filler. I don't know if I want to put any more on right now. Sometimes I will, but where it's like that, I really don't know the highs and lows on that yet. Not at all. And I'll find them out. As soon as I put the DA on it, it'll tell me. It will tell me. That was fun, wasn't it? Huh? That was fun. Get a little thinner, wipe my hands off. I'm not going to try to sand that off. It's amazing how thin you like you see filler on a car. It's amazing how thin it can be. It probably can go as well, just as thin as paint or thinner. A filler can, and it makes it look like you have a lot, but in real essence, it's really just covering the surface. Covering the surface. And if there is a lot, boo-hoo. Right? Okay, good. I'm going to take in maybe. It's going to take a little second or two, so what I'm going to do, I'm just doing chilling like a villain, I'm going to take this here and start stripping some more. What the heck? Just going to show you again the way it looks. Yeah, a little stripper. I'm not scared that we went over there a little bit. That's going to come off, and whatever's not stuck the best will peel off. But I'm going to have to coat that again, obviously, for pinholes and that sort of stuff. Nope, not doing it. Not doing it. Pet peeves is when you strip a vehicle, try to strip it all one way instead of going all over the place. That's one of my, just my pet peeve, does not matter much. But when I strip a vehicle, I like to go all one way. Just like coloring in a coloring book. When you color, you can tell who the best colorers are. They color one way, right? They color one way. I'm going to leave the dents and I'll clean them out a little bit later. I just know where they are so I don't forget them. Time. How much time is it? An hour? I'll go for a little bit longer. I'll go as long as it takes. Do a little dance, do a little dance, do a little dance. Sometimes I find that we sometimes strip cars that don't need to be stripped. Sometimes, and it takes you. It's a long process to strip a car and then bring it back up to what it's supposed to be. Sometimes, you know, they're ripped apart and they shouldn't be. You hear that sometimes a ripped apart, they shouldn't be. Still do an 80 grit after this, still would be nice. Clean it up just a little bit more. That's all an 80 grit will do, just clean it up just a little bit more. And you're ready for primer, 40-80 primer. I don't think I have any 80 grit at the moment, but we'll get wanted to strip their own car and strip it right, like I mean with sandpaper and stripper wheels, how much money you could save yourself to get some, that much further ahead if you're taking to get it done. If you think that you could strip that by yourself and then take it somewhere to get it done, it saves that much time. If you're gonna strip it with a flapper wheel and gouge it all up, you're going to spend a whole bunch of time. If you know what I'm trying to tell you, like you do not strip a car with a flapper wheel. Let that heal a little bit more. If you have the sandblaster hooked up now, would you have the tank full yet? Getting close. Come on, baby. Use a new sandpaper. We'll do it real quick. Buzz it off. When it's fresh like that, it's just fresh. When you get to the edge, it can really, or to the ends, it can really peel off quickly. Don't be surprised. When I'm sanding it, I'm keeping my eyes out for metal full time. Where I'm keeping it out for is right there. Because it's hitting there every time. What I'm trying to do is just trying to flatten it down on this edge, hold it with the angle, and I got a little bit there to get, and I'm just hoping no metal comes. Ah. Fiberglass showing, getting real close. There you go. Little spot there. Not bad. Not bad. I'm gonna rub this off up here. Name of the game is to hold it flat, and that's the end of it. He got blinded with that light. All right. I'm just changing some sandpaper here. You can see where I'm hitting metal. A little bit of fiberglass showing there, so. That tells me how close it is. It's really close. So it tells you how thick it is too. Well, thick it is. Doesn't matter to me how thick it is, to be honest with you. Just as long as it looks good. Just as long as it looks good. But I do not want metal hitting and seeing everywhere. I do not want that because where the metal is, you have a chance to see a bad area. And the metal is. We'll clean the backside up if it needs to be, if he wants it to be. Maybe he can clean the backside up if he wants it to be. Just gonna ride it again here. Try to get the cockpit flapped off. Okay, metal, glass, got a little bit of glass here. I'm gonna take it off if I can. Get it. Good. Still got some. I'm gonna feather it out one more time, but I'll feather it past that. But it's feeling good. Just running this thing like I run a block. Run it the same way. Just gotta have a little more muscle. Good. Looking good. Looking good. Close, you got fiberglass. Metal there. I might have to hit that with the hammer, maybe, not sure. That's good. On my back end. Don't get a new one. Make a cut there. You want me faster for me? Are you going to be standing it? Oh no, make it straighter. This is also a 40 grit, just a smaller 6-inch piece. Put it in my hand. To feather it off, I'm going to go this way. Going this way, I was pulling it off. I'm almost there, so now I'm going to feather it off. I hope that makes sense. Here's my metal. Tells you where we're at. There's metal. All this I just kept flush and kept the same because we didn't beat that out of it, so it should be good. I'm gonna dig some off. I'm gonna go this way, and then when I'm almost done with this, then I'll feather it off. Put a little double time on it. Come the other way and feather it off. Trying to get it done as quick as possible. As you can tell. Woo! show you what I got. So, I got it stripped with the sandpaper. I got half wheel with the wheel, the stripper wheel. You see all my pinholes. I will coat that again because of this. All these. I want to grind that off a little more. It looks like weld, and that's exactly what it is. You see me hitting that earlier, trying to grind down a little bit. I can take a little more off that. This needs more on it to feather back better. This needs to be all scraped off along this edge. And it just needs one nice, small, thin coat of filler. I will give it a quick rub with a 40, and then I would finish it with an 80. That means the whole fender, and then it's into primer. Keep the camera moving, come fast. Have a good one, everybody. If you're good at it, go faster. Get faster at it. Go for it. And yeah.